Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A, number 194, with us, the British Fist.
Catching.
And what the fuck have you got on your shirt?
It's the skull. It's a Triple H shirt, pure quality. Not this black shirt with white writing on. They come up with now.
Yeah, nothing, a lot better than an England flag on a shirt. I am Mr. Parker, and this is NJ.
What's up?
Although you'd think it was NJ with the skeleton of a Triple H, but there you go. If you have any questions, please make sure you ask them down in the comment section below.
And please make sure you subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it so more people can interact in these videos.
Or if I was going to say it, unsubscribe, unlike, and make sure you don't interact, because for some reason I'm saying opposites today, and I don't know why. Don't give me that look, NJ. You wanted to laugh hard.
People unsubscribe.
That's
support for the British Fist. That's
yeah,
support. Work.
That's the management degree coming in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Renegade Man 83. I do know as a part of a management degree that you cater to the people. So this week's Q&A is no, I'm joking. Renegade Man 83. That's the WWE method of business. What do you think Dean Ambrose will? What do you think Dean Ambrose will feud with around WrestleMania 31? Or hopefully a human. What? I think you mean who. But it doesn't matter. Yeah. Who will Dean Ambrose feud with Barrett now?
If we were to scrap that, if this was before the Barrett thing, to be honest, I would have thought Barrett, because he went from like Rollins, he went to
Bray Wyatt.
So I think he would have been probably not Rusev.
No, I mean, yeah, but potentially. I think that after Seth Rollins and after Bray Wyatt, that you want to keep someone on his level. I mean, it looks like now they're going away Barrett and they're making the generic IC title feud as they do. But a Rusev would have been on par with the kind of character. But again, I think he would have had to lose to Rusev. And I think Dean Ambrose is one of those characters now that after that Bray Wyatt feud, you really need to give him a win against someone, which is probably why they're feuding with Barrett.
Even though Rusev could have done with a WrestleMania win, I think Ambrose defeating Rusev, being the one to defeat him at a pay-per-view or any show whatsoever, would have been good for Ambrose.
Yeah, but it might also, it could be good for any.
But then again, he'll be US champion again, so probably not.
Yeah, and we don't know. Are they going to go with Cena now, or are they going to go with Ryback? Would you prefer Cena or Ryback to face?
Ryback at WrestleMania. Ryback. Yeah. Cena's going at the next pay-per-view. But I think Ryback could have really benefited with Rusev. That's not this question, but yes, Ryback. Just a
little off topic there. Suffering succotash. How bad was Roman Reigns' promo on Big Show and Seth Rollins? It was funny that he can't cut a promo, but he can make an amazing impersonation of Macho Man. Ooh yeah, sucker.
Okay,
that was a Macho Man.
Roman Reigns before the Rumble. That Roman Reigns was completely not him. It's like he'd been knocked on the head by his wife or boyfriend at home, and he came into the WWE completely forgetting who he was and cutting all these stupid, childish promos. And then when he won the Rumble, they had to force him to look serious with Brock Lesnar. So yeah, I think whatever they were doing with Roman Reigns was absolutely ridiculous, and Big Show, I'm sure, was laughing backstage thinking, what the hell was that?
Do you know what, right? Two things here. Firstly, with regards to Roman Reigns, maybe it was The Rock that knocked some shut-up juice in him and made sure he forgot his promo. That's why he had to put him over at Royal Rumble. And secondly, like you said, they just really went out of their way to try and, superhero. Now they're making him serious. And again, it's what we talked about with Big Show and Kane. It's the lack of consistency in your character. Should have been like that all the way through WrestleMania season. It's silly.
The thing that made Roman Reigns successful, even though people are bashing him, is because of how he was in the Shield. His character was the dominant guy, and I don't see why he could have been dominant all the way through. He could have lost matches, which was my complaint with him, but not joke. He didn't need that time.
No, that did not help his character one bit. And that promo he cut at TLC. Do you remember how bad that was? And do you remember his face when he cut the promo and he realised that he made a mistake and he kind of went, but if you thought what I did at the Royal Rumble last year was bad. And it's just like, oh my God, when I saw that, I was laughing out loud, but I was also thinking, wonder if the acting lessons helped.
But the successful thing is, as much as I'm looking at that and in disgrace, which is why I didn't think he should have won the Rumble because of the bad reaction he got, he then went on to look serious with the Raw when they couldn't get to the actual show.
Paul Heyman did his talking for him, that's why.
Yeah, and plus Roman Reigns was face to face with, I think, Brock Lesnar and Rollins. Brilliant. So I'm glad to see Roman Reigns back.
Yeah, and we might be getting a new star at WrestleMania. So all you fucking WWE fans that are complaining about Roman Reigns, come on, you wanted new stars for years. Let's get behind this one. Anyway, long question, this one. In your opinion, do you find it ironic that some fans, mainly TNA fans, assume they are more mature than WWE fans? We are PG lovers, we're biased, and they assume we love the crap WWE gives us, except the bunny, the bull, or cheesy promos. But if we criticize one small thing about TNA, they act like little children. It seems okay that we criticize WWE, but there seems to be a golden rule to some fans that we can't criticize anything on TNA. I'm pretty sure you got hate on your video about Chris Sabin being champion. Yep. I got hate on my video about Chris Sabin being champion. I got hate on our video. Well, we also got hate on our video from Eric Young being the champion. Yeah, I mean, we also got kicked off TNA Asylum because we were being too critical of TNA. Apparently, it's a TNA haven, and we didn't realize haven means that we have to talk good about them all the time.
I'm sorry, to be honest, like, I was more against Eric Young over Chris Sabin, but the thing is, when it comes to something in any wrestling product that we don't like, we're going to point it out. And we're not saying the WWE are gods, hence why there's been change in the British Fist. We stopped TNA because they seem to provide it each and every week. ROH, yeah, so to be honest, I think we're just proving our opinions from each product.
I think the problem is that TNA fans, here's the thing about TNA fans, right? And this is a god awful truth which every TNA fan needs to admit to. If you ever get into an argument with a TNA fan, he never starts the argument with, well, I think TNA is better than WWE because of this, because of that, because of something that TNA does. No, it's, I think TNA is better than WWE because of what WWE does and what WWE does here and the PG crap. And I've done it myself. I'll admit to it. I've done videos where I said TNA is better than WWE, and it's all focused on stuff that WWE has done. You know, so TNA fans can't focus their argument on what their own product is doing well. They have to focus their own argument on what the fucking WWE competition product is doing badly. And that sums up TNA fans big time. And it's one of the reasons why we just stopped and why we couldn't deal with them anymore. And it's just, it is ridiculous. I mean, it's like we criticize WWE to hell and high water. But as soon as we say something bad, you know, as soon as we, you know, say something about, oh yeah, well, you're WWE fans. Oh, you know, you're WWE. It's like, have you not watched any of our videos? Just saying. Do you have anything else to say about this before we move on? Because, quite frankly, I'm going to get really pissed off unless we move.
All I'm going to say is that TNA have been given a second, possibly third chance to do something right. And to be honest, it's still early days. So my opinion about going back to TNA is a big question mark. Obviously, it depends on what Bull Killer, especially, because he's someone I watch weekly, has to say to convince me to come back.
Would Kurt Angle being TNA World Heavyweight Champion convince you to come back? I rest my fucking case. Power Spy in One Games. That's an actual YouTube name. Do you think this will make a controversial promo? Rusev and Lana are at the UK. They talk trash on the mic about the UK. Then they get the shirts of 20 clubs playing in the Barclays Premier League and set all the shirts on fire. I hate you just for suggesting that idea, but it would be a fucking good promo, I will admit. That would be epic. They won't do it because WWE probably doesn't know the names of the 20 clubs playing in the Barclays Premier League. But that would be pretty good, just as long as they don't burn or drop our flag on the floor.
To be honest, I know the heat is to put on Rusev because obviously he's not from the UK, but to be honest, Lana would have to do the talking. I'd personally give this to someone else, but I'm glad you picked Rusev because he still needs as much heat as possible.
Can I ask you a question, actually? The fact that you really don't care about football, would it make the segment better or worse for you, knowing that they were burning football club t-shirts?
They can burn Peebo United shirts all I freaking care.
To be honest, they're probably worth about as much as the ashes that they would get out of them. So there we go. Jersey 12361. Good question, by the way. What are your thoughts on Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania 30? I mean, I don't know how many times you've answered this, but my main thing about this is I've said it so many times. When was the last time you heard a fan say, "Do you know what? If Sting comes to WWE, I'd really love it if we saw him go up against Triple H"? No, you've never heard that.
Over the past couple of weeks, there have been many wrestlers on wrestling talkers on Twitter and YouTube who have let their opinions know. And yes, to the full extent, I agree with the minor fact that it's been proven that Sting goes against the authority or against the power of the company he's in. And obviously, right now, Vince's not around, so it's Triple H. And it builds up the best place to possibly get involved with Triple H WrestleMania. But that, wrestling wise, no, it does not.
And do you know, I'm going to bring up something here, and I think this is quite important. I remember the reaction that TNA got when Sting was the one that ended Jeff Hardy's title reign and thus, I believe, disintegrated the Immortal faction at the time or something like that. And a lot of people shat on it because they thought, oh, well, it was Sting bringing it down instead of like an AJ Styles or a wrestler on the active roster. And you know what? I look at Sting versus Triple H, I'm like, well, Sting, put a helping hand on actually ending the authority. So why are people not reacting the same way to that? I mean, what if he faces Triple H at WrestleMania and he beats Triple H at WrestleMania? Then what?
There'll be some stipulation, I'm sure, because we've still got about 2 months, so I'm sure there'll be something added.
The authority will end. Oh boy, because the WWE product got so much better when the authority ended, didn't it? I think a lot of people were looking forward to them coming back, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, DT.
There we go. Aaron Crace, do you think that AJ Lee will sign with UFC? No, I don't really think she'd want to get involved in UFC. I think Ronda Rousey would snap her in half.
She's more than likely is going to retire from WWE. She's such a young teenager. I don't know why she's quitting the WWE, but to be honest, her going from the WWE to something that's totally against her build and her knowledge and her age.
She doesn't need it. She doesn't need it, does she? Because CM Punk is, he's going to rake in the money in UFC. She doesn't need it. I mean, she might continue on with WWE. That's not if she's not on minimum wage, because obviously she's a little bit too young to be getting a full salary with WWE. Just a little joke there. But no, I don't think she'll sign with UFC. She doesn't need it, and I don't think UFC need AJ Lee either.
And with the whole pregnancy possible teasing, obviously UFC is going to be delayed by a year or 2, 3, 4.
Do you think that Christian will sign with TNA? And also another
Christian
question.
Cage.
Yeah. Do you think Christian will sign with TNA? Well, I don't know. I think he's got good ties with WWE, so they'll keep him there in a backstage role, or they'll put him as an announcer or something. So unless TNA put in a big offer, I mean, he's retired, isn't he? Because of concussions and stuff. So I think just based on that, he won't sign with TNA, and I think WWE will give him a good role, kind of like they did with Corey Graves, put him in a announcer's role on NXT, and they'll make him work backstage with maybe NXT talents, or give him some kind of role like that where he can have a real positive influence. Because I think he'll be a somewhat of an asset to WWE. He's retired.
Okay, I'm going to say one of the biggest criticism in TNA's favour, and they're not seeming to change anytime soon. They're stealing WWE X talent. They're still doing it.
Didn't they just bring back Drew McIntyre at the or Drew Galloway at the last taping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're still doing it. So Christian going, I can see it happening, but I think with the relationship he has with the WWE, he'll be more likely to stay there.
Do you think that Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman will sign with TNA or UFC? UFC, if they're going to do it, it will be UFC. There's no reason why they want to sign for TNA.
I don't think Paul Heyman would go. I think his relationship with the WWE has improved over the years. Yeah. So I think he'd have some involvement with the WWE. Because the only thing with Brock, because of storyline, he's already brought him in and stuff.
The whole client thing, and the fact that Brock needed a mic.
And he still doesn't need to follow him to the next part of his career and life. So I think Paul Heyman will stay in WWE, Brock will leave.
Brock Lesnar has got the leverage, so he can leave if he wants to, whatever he wants to do. Paul Heyman has got his own Heyman Hustle thing going on, so he doesn't necessarily need the WWE, but I think the WWE could help him and he could help the WWE, and there could be a good mutual relationship there. I don't think Heyman will ever go to TNA now. I don't really see the point. They had a chance to sign him at one point, and he outlined his vision for a TNA where you had like maybe 5 older guys and a load of young talent for them to put over, but they didn't go with that, because that involved older guys putting over younger talent. And that's something that TNA, we know, just doesn't do. Next question. What would happen to WWE if Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, Triple H, or Stephanie McMahon die in a car accident? I mean, I think because of that, I don't think they all travel in the same car. Or they all travelled in the same jet. They might travel in the same aeroplane. But I think there's a reason for that, and that's because if they all four of them die, then no, I mean, who would take over? Probably one of the corporate executives, maybe a Pat Patterson or something. I don't know. Maybe one of Stephanie's
This one,
daughters.
no. Why are you avoiding his name? When you got rid of Vince, when you got rid of Triple H
Oh,
and
Shane
Steph,
won't come
Shane,
back.
yes.
Shane McMahon. You really think
What?
Shane McMahon
Because
would come back?
the reason he weren't going to come in is because the company wasn't going to get given to him. It was given to Triple H or Steph. The fact they've been killed in a car accident.
In storyline, by the way. Storyline.
If it was in storyline.
No, I mean, I'm talking about us. We're not actually reporting they're dead.
Oh no. I think with them gone, I think Shane, the next heir to the throne, would take over the WWE.
Perhaps, but I wonder if he'd want it. He's been very successful in his business ventures, I believe. So whether he would want to take over, who knows now? But I mean, this question very, very difficult to answer. And the final question on this Q&A: Toby Pierce, do people hate on Vince McMahon too much? I think that they have a love-hate relationship with Vince McMahon, because without Vince McMahon, they wouldn't have what they're complaining about. But at the same time, Vince McMahon is very out of time. It seems like Vince McMahon is very out of touch with today's fans and the way today's fans are working. So it's a bit of a love-hate relationship there with Vince McMahon and the fans, really, isn't it?
The biggest hate for Vince, well, the biggest like is what he's done, what he's brought up into the WWE.
You saw that on Raw 1000 when he came out and everyone was chanting, "Thank you, Vince."
But the hate, I think, is because Vince thinks he's always in the right. I don't hear Vince thinking he's in the wrong. Go to the Austin podcast. Every question Austin threw at him, every statement he threw, Vince was like, what I'm saying is going, it's what I know is good for business, what I know is right. I think that's his problem. Like, the things he's doing for the WWE, he's saying he's right. Keep John Cena where he is. That's Vince's right. The wrestlers he's burying or stuff, it's his decision. So I think, he feels that he's always in the right. And that's why I think people are hating him, because they don't get heard as much as he's making out they do.
I agree. I mean, like I said, it's a love-hate relationship. Without Vince McMahon, they wouldn't have what they were complaining to Vince McMahon about. So it really depends. But that's another good question. I'll probably have that as the title of the Q&A. So thank you for that question, Toby Pierce. And that's another Q&A. Make sure you tune in next week when we're getting a question asked for us by a YouTube name called Burger Boy. So that will be very, very entertaining. And spoiler alert, it's another Sting Triple H question. Seem to be getting a lot of those. So yeah, if you have any questions, again, the best form is to put them in the comment section below, as that is the only place I go to for questions, and I put them on our list in according to when you actually ask it. So it literally is first come, first serve on our Q&A.
And with this being the world of wrestling, please continue to support the British Fist and send in as many questions as possible. Look forward to see what is yet to come. And as we keep on saying, these are favourite videos of the week. So we thank you very much for sending your questions. And until next time, YouTubers, from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ, take it easy and goodbye.